there goes my cell phone. Hello?
Hi, Nancy. It's Mrs. Petrov. How is everything? Have you seen Linda yet?
Yes, and I'm afraid she seemed really depressed.
I'm just about at my wit's end. I've never known her to act like this. The last doctor that examined her said that aside from a little dry skin, which is not unusual for her, she was perfectly fine.
Maybe she's just unhappy here.
I don't know why. I mean, she absolutely adores Hugh. She was thrilled when they got married and couldn't wait to start a new life with him and his daughter there in England. Something has changed her. Something in that house. Hugh is just as bewildered and upset by her behavior as I am. Please get to the bottom of this, Nancy. You're our last hope.
Where is Hugh?
He was called to Rome. As a diplomat, he's always being called out of the country without warning and without any say in the matter. He'd much rather be there with Linda, although...
Mrs. Petrov? Are you there?
It's just that Hugh said it hasn't been very easy for him to talk to her lately. Whenever he calls, which is at least once a day, Linda always seems to fly off the handle for no reason, which doesn't make sense. Linda has always been extremely level-headed and even-tempered. She never gets angry. At least she didn't used to.
Did Linda say anything to you about finding a secret passageway?
No. Linda told you she found a secret passageway?
Yes. Do you think she wasn't telling the truth?
I don't know. Given her fragile state of mind, what's true and what she thinks is true may well be two different things, that's all.
Who exactly is Mrs. Drake?
She's Hugh's aunt. She's taken care of Blackmoor Manor ever since her brother died. He was Hugh's father. She's a bit of a character.
I noticed.
The way she spends all her time in that conservatory, slouching around, trowel in hand, murmuring to herself. You'd think she was burying something. Or somebody.
When you were here visiting Linda, did you ever see or hear anything odd?
Yes, Mrs. Drake. Why do you ask?
Blackmoor Manor looks like the kind of place that most people would assume is haunted, don't you think?
Frankly, I was too worried about Linda to take notice of much of anything there. Except that most of the rooms I saw looked like they'd been decorated by a medieval monkey.
Goodbye, Mrs. Petrov.
Goodbye, Nancy. Oh, one more thing. My niece is on call and her husband's out of town, and I told her I'd go over there and babysit if she had to work. So if you call and I don't answer, that's why. Bye.
It stopped working.
Ah yes, are you here from the agency? It's about time.
No, I'm Nancy Drew, a friend of Linda's.
How do you do? I'm Nigel Mukherjee. I'm researching the Penvillen family, and Mrs. Drake has graciously opened the library for me. Nothing much has been written about the Penvillens. Until now.
Sounds intriguing.
It might have something to do with their scandalous history. Or perhaps it has something to do with the family treasure.
Is that what you're going to write about?
I'm quite curious about their progenitor, Randolph the Red. He was a brilliant soldier in the 15th century. As a reward for his exemplary military service, he was given the land that surrounds this castle as well as the castle itself. Some say the source of his military strength was a strange stone. Of course, that's all legend, but it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
You said something before about a treasure?
For centuries, the Penvillens have been very secretive. Some believe they're protectors of a fabulous treasure, or of some dark secret. There are several skeletons rattling about in the Penvillen closet. Take, for example, Eleanor Penvillen, tried and convicted of witchcraft in 1650, quite the height of the witch trials here in Essex. It was rumored that Cromwell arranged the conviction.
But she wasn't actually a witch?
Who knows? Lady Penvillen was a rather vocal critic of Cromwell's policies, and helped many of his enemies flee the country. Whether she actually was a practitioner of witchcraft is unknown, although many visitors to the manor during her tenure reported hearing strange, ghostly bells. Some even saw phantom hands floating about the manor, tolling their charmed chimes.
Who are all those paintings of in the Great Hall?
Those are the Penvillans who owned Blackmoor Manor at one time or another.
You mentioned some kind of scandal with the Penvillan family?
Well, having a family member burned as a witch can hardly be considered a mark of pride, I dare say. And then there's the whole business with the Blackmoor beast.
Blackmoor beast?
It's a story that's been told for generations out here. During the 1600s, many of the villagers reported seeing a strange beast with red eyes and giant fangs prowling the moors. They asked the mistress of Blackmoor Manor, Eleanor Penvillan, to put a bounty on the beast's head. But, oddly enough, she not only refused, she forbade anyone from hunting the creature. It was rumored that the beast was Eleanor's husband, whom she had cursed for finding out too much about the Penvillan secret.
When I was walking up to the house, I saw something with red eyes that called out to me.
Really? How extraordinary. Are you sure it wasn't just jet lag?
Positive, and I heard it make this kind of growling sound.
Perhaps it was the cursed husband of Eleanor Penvillan, prowling about the moors in search of lost Yanks.
Very funny. Have you seen any runes anywhere in the manor?
You mean like Norse runes? No, I haven't. I don't really know much about them anyway. Dead languages aren't really my bag, you know.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Valet!
I need something else for this.
Hi, Nancy.
Do you know of any secret passageways in the manor?
I found one, but all it did was lead to this funny picture.
Do you think you could show me where the passageway is?
Wouldn't you rather play a game with me? I'm so bored.
If I play a game with you, will you tell me where the secret passageway is?
Okay. I got this at this really neat museum in the States. It's supposed to be an original Maya game, but don't worry. You don't have to, kill people or take their hearts out or anything.